and Pirate TV.
KCTV5, KAB and MBA Station of the Year for 3 years in a row.
Here, Precision, no job too big, no job too small, we can do it all. Whether it's a broken spring or a new door, Precision has you covered. Here at Precision, we install the best and service the rest.
Precision Yard Service and trust.
Corrupt sleazeball politician Ty Masterson. He's taken thousands from big tech and pushed through a sweetheart deal giving massive tax breaks to data center developers. And get this, Masterson has made more than $1 million from a no-show job funded by political donors, selling us out for rich friends, stuffing his own pockets full of cash. Sleazeball Ty Masterson. Vicki Schmidt fights for us and will always deliver for working families.
Why shop Furniture Mall? Because we're here to help you get it right. With experts who listen, options that fit your style, and solutions built for real life. So you'll love coming home. Right now, get up to 60 months 0% interest financing or a discount equal to your sales tax. Furniture Mall helps you get it right. Now celebrating our Northland grand opening at every location. Oh yeah.
Amendment 5 to
Well, I don't really like. What do you mean, like getting sod from someone, or just like?
Yeah. You grow it yourself?
No. I go through Mid-America and Warrensburg, and they have a sod farm.
Oh, do they? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I always.
What kind of grass you?
So that one, they actually specifically grow like.
No, I'm looking at the big ones.
And I mean, most of my work though, like I do.
means it's paid a price. Taylor's fighting back. No corporate bad money. Running stock trading companies. Trump's corruption ends down. You know what Taylor for Senate. 1569 issued your responsible for 50%. Welcome to Job Connection. Calling all electricians, machine operators, and technicians.
We will now call the August 3rd, 2026 meeting to order, led by legislative prayer. And we will now call the August 3rd, 2026 meeting to order, led by legislative prayer and pledge of allegiance.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this opportunity to pray today. We thank you that this administration is open to your hand and your involvement in the affairs of our city in Sedalia, Missouri. Lord, we lift up our mayor, the city council members, city administrator, department leaders, first responders, and all who serve our community through this local government. Lord, you told us to pray for those in authority so that we might live quiet, peaceable lives. So we ask that you would grant these leaders wisdom, not ordinary wisdom, not human wisdom, but your divine wisdom. Lord, give them discernment and understanding and good judgment as they make decisions that affect us and this city. Give them the courage to do what's right and help them lead with honesty, humility, and integrity. We bind the author of confusion, selfish ambition, division, and corruption. Help these men and women work together for the good of Sedalia and the people that they serve. Surround them with wise counsel and people of character. Father, we ask for your protection over our city, over our families, our businesses, schools, churches, law enforcement officers, firefighters, emergency personnel, and all that serve this community. We also pray for the citizens of Sedalia, that we would be a people of responsibility, a people of honor, a people of faith. Teach us to love our neighbors as ourselves. Father, we ask that your hand be upon Sedalia, and we declare your peace, your grace, your wisdom, your protection, and your blessing over this city. And we say in agreement with you that your kingdom will come, your will be done in Sedalia, Missouri, as it is in heaven. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Robinson.
Yes.
Ames.
Here.
Scribner.
Here.
Bogus.
Here.
Covington.
Here.
Cross.
Here.
Redford.
Here.
Franklin.
Here.
All present.
We have a quorum. Next on the agenda, presentation from August 4th ballot questionnaire.
So we're just going to go over real quick tomorrow. Among the many things that'll be on the election ballot is Proposition A for City of Sedalia residents. So just as a recap, what is being proposed? Proposition A asks voters whether the city's current license tax on electric, light, and power companies should be lowered. So currently, the tax rate is 5% charged on almost everyone that has electricity in Sedalia. And this is asking if voters would like to lower that rate to 4.75%. And it would also remove the large cap that is on some of our large industrial users. So what that would do is, say, for example, a company uses 300 kilowatts or more and pays over $15,000. That cap, currently at $15,000, would be removed. This is what I'm showing you right now is our website that has some information on it. It also has some frequently asked questions. Some of the questions that were being asked of me and several of our other department heads on it. So what is the proposition? And it is asking voters whether to change the city's electric tax by reducing that general rate from 5% to 4.75 and repealing the reduced tax rate that currently is applied to certain large industrial customers. It's a tax on electricity. And if it's approved, we've covered that, where it will lower it. So your average household, for example, say someone's electric bill was $100, they would pay currently $5, and with the new tax rate, it would be lowered to $4.75. Who all can vote for it? It's any registered voter here in Sedalia. And one of the other important things is this isn't a new tax. This is just a change to our current tax. And it's mainly because of removing that cap on certain large industrial customers. So that is the general overview of it, just real quick, that we had talked about going over. And tomorrow again is election day for folks to get out and vote.
All right.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Next on the agenda, a presentation, update on sewer plans and projects.
So good evening. I'm Patrick Young with HDR. I work for the engineering firm that you've retained to design improvements at your central and your north wastewater treatment facilities. So tonight, I'm going to give you an update on the status of those projects. If the council has questions for me during this presentation, please just stop me and I'll try to answer those questions at that time. So briefly tonight, I'm going to run through a project history. How did you get to the point that you're at today with those two wastewater treatment facilities? I'm going to recap the bond measure that you passed a few years ago. I'm going to talk about the funding for these projects, and then I'm going to run through where we are in the planning and design of those facilities and what those next steps are on these projects. So a little bit of background. I'm not going to hit every item, certainly within here. But these projects really started with the permits for these two facilities, your central facility, your north facility, expiring in 2021. And as a result, the Missouri Department of Natural Resources did an inspection of your facilities in 2022. And they did issue a letter of warning with that inspection. At that point, you had some maintenance items, some condition of assets, and some of your effluent was not complying with all the discharge permits. And so you got a letter of warning, in essence, at that time in 2022. And then when you look, there was a meeting with DNR about some of the non-compliance issues. I talked about MDNR in 2023 did refer the city to the state's compliance and enforcement division related to the tree treatment plants and the discharge from them. Now, at that time, you were looking at what improvements need to be made at these facilities. And in February of 2024, you actually brought a bond measure to the citizens. It was a $60 million bond to basically improve the treatment facilities, renew them, bring them up to the treatment standards that were needed. And then the subsequent year, because of that enforcement action, you actually signed an administrative order on consent, which is basically an agreement between the city and MDNR that you're going to make these improvements to your treatment facilities, and it set the timeline for those. So that's kind of really that history, and I'll go into that detail a little bit more. Just as a recap of that bond measure in 2024, it actually passed with a 79% plus approval rating, so it was really approved by the voters. And what that bond issue allowed you to do was to seek funding and financing from the state of Missouri through their SRF program. SRF is State Revolving Fund program itself. And really the reason that you looked at doing that as a community is the interest rate that you pay back on the money you borrow is a subsidized interest rate. So you can see on this point, it's typically 30% of what a revenue bond would be. So your debt payments are then much lower because of that. And it's important because you still have to, when you've applied for it, been approved for it, there will be rate structures that you're going to have to pass along the way to continue to get that loan. In addition to that $60 million loan, the city's done a great job of getting grants. You have a $1.5 million grant, which is a water quality incentive grant to improve that effluent quality. And then you have a $3.5 million contaminants grant to be able to remove solids out of some of these existing lagoons. So some of the money is funded through grants that you will not have to, in essence, repay. So kind of where we are today, kind of hit 2025, that was really the first obligations in that AOC that you signed, and that was to submit a facility plan, which you did as a community in 2025. First milestone was met in March. You did leave a little bit of room to optimize that plan. And then there was a revised facility plan that was submitted in August of 2025, which is the plan that you're really on. And what you're doing within that plan is you're going to now pump the flows from your North Treatment Plant down to Central, and you're going to expand the Central plant to be able to accommodate those flows. And the reason the facility plan did that was just the technology that we use at North is not one that would meet future water quality requirements. And as a result, it's the most efficient plan that you have moving forward at this point. We were then retained and we started preliminary design in April of this year on your facilities. So we had a number of meetings with your city staff to look at the improvements, present alternatives, and develop the plan for what the improvements are going to be. In addition to that, requests for qualifications were issued at the beginning of June for the contractor arm of this project. And so I've got it listed as CMAR, which stands for Construction Manager at Risk. It just means you're bringing a contractor on board now. And what they're going to give you is they're immediately going to give you indicative pricing, and they're going to work towards a guaranteed maximum price with that. The other thing they're going to do is they're going to make comments on constructability. They're going to make comments related to ways to bring the total project cost down. They still go to market and bid everything out along the way, but you're just bringing a contractor on board. So you received qualification packages from 7 CMAR contractors at the beginning of July. Your city staff reviewed those proposals and shortlisted down to 4 firms. 4 of those CMAR firms I'll talk more about on the next slide, but they were issued a request for proposal. It's now proposal instead of qualifications because their cost associated with that phase 1, doing that value engineering, cost estimating, coming up with the value, guaranteed maximum price, you actually pay them to do. That'll be important for kind of what's the next step and coming up. You're going to receive proposals from those 4 contractors in 2 days on August 5th. And then we're going to be back in front of you on August 17th, hopefully with that CMAR contract to get them on board to move forward. And this really kind of keeps you on schedule to have all these improvements done by January of 2029. Last slide I have is just kind of recap of that. You see the 4 contractors listed that you shortlisted I've worked with all 4 of those contractors within the region. They're all qualified to do this type of work. They all have experience as CMAR contractors. Receive proposals. We're going to conduct interviews next week with those contractors. And then you will score and rank those and look at the cost component of it. And then we'll be coming back hopefully on the 17th with their contract to allow them to move forward and basically engage. In addition to that, I talked about that SRF loan. For you to get that, you have to be to that guaranteed maximum price. To fund the project up into that point that you can close with them, there is a bridge loan that will come back in front of council as well for approval. And then as we start to do the work, there will be different construction packages that will be brought back that says, here's equipment we're purchasing, or here's the force main piece of the improvements, or here's the work at the north plant. We'll break it down and bring those back to council as well. So you can see there's a lot happening right now. There's really a lot to do within the next 2 years. And you'll probably see quite a bit of me back in front of you, giving an update. Here's where we are, asking for additional approvals. Kind of went through that fairly quickly. Was there any questions that came up as a part of that?
I think you covered a lot of it.
But at the end of the day, our water bill will be going up too. Am I saying that correctly?
This is just on the sewer side.
Sewer side?
Yeah, but you will have to implement rates that allow you to pay back that bond fund.
Okay.
And that loan fund. Yes, you will have to, and we will have to bring those rates back to you because you'll have to submit those to MDNR for that SRF eligibility part of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else? Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's gonna bring the survey.
Next on our agenda, service awards. Yeah. Believe that you're it.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Tonight, I would like to discuss 20-year service award for Detective Travis St. Cyr, who started working for the Sedalia Police Department on July 9th of 2006. Like all officers, Travis started on patrol shift, going on calls and learning the job. Officer St. Cyr worked patrol for over 3 years before getting an opportunity to transfer into investigations as a rotating detective. Travis worked in detectives for a year and a half, developing a passion for detailed investigations before coming back to patrol, taking his enhanced investigative skills back to the road with him. Officer St. Cyr worked patrol another 2 years, but never lost his desire to work investigations. On February 24th of 2013, Officer St. Cyr demonstrated his persistence necessary and acquired one of only 2 full-time detective positions at the Sedalia Police Department. Detective St. Cyr has been a full-time detective for over 13 years, repeatedly proving his value from high-profile cases to missing persons and everything in between. Travis is a computer voice stress analysis operator, new officer employee background investigator, member of the Missouri K-Squad, and FBI Joint Counterterrorism Task Force. Detective St. Cyr has become our go-to investigator for financial crimes and figuring out how to operate and download data from everybody's home surveillance systems that they don't know how to operate themselves. Travis's contributions to the Investigative Bureau have earned him more awards than we have time to go into. However, suffice to say, he is an integral part of our investigative success. Throughout my profession, I never really got a chance to work investigations as a patrol officer or a detective. And as I got promoted, the first time I worked in detectives was as a commander over the Bureau. And I can tell you that's an intimidating task. One of the best things I could do when I did that job was stand back and watch Travis go to work. To this day, if we have a serious case, I take comfort knowing that we can watch Travis go to work. I'd like for you to join me in congratulating him on 20 years of service.
Military service.
Thanks, Travis.
Good evening. Today we celebrate John Simmons, who has dedicated 20 incredible years to our city, with 18 of those serving as Community Development Director and now as the Assistant Director of Parks. John's unwavering commitment to our community shines through in everything he does. He is always ready to lend a hand to his coworkers and embodies a true passion for our city's history and its future. John goes above and beyond his role, showcasing his exceptional talent for grant writing, which has brought millions of dollars to enhance our community. He is never afraid to roll up his sleeves, whether it's grabbing a paintbrush after hours or recently just jumping into the lagoon to rescue a goose. His selfless actions often go unnoticed as he consistently prioritizes the needs of others over seeking recognition. Thanks to John's dedication, our community has made significant strides. Over the past 2 years, he has played a pivotal role in various projects, including memory lanes, Liberty Stadium, and soon the revitalization of Centennial Pool, and soon a new playground at Liberty Park. His vision and leadership have truly transformed our community, and it's been an honor to be able to work with him. We are immensely grateful for John's knowledge, teamwork, and passion. Sedalia is a better place because of all you have done, John. Thank you for your remarkable service. Here's to 20 more years with Parks.
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Next on the agenda, retirement award.
Well, hello again. Feel like I get a lot of opportunity to come up and talk to you all about folks who are retiring. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but we definitely feel them when folks leave our agency, especially after long service like Sergeant John Comfort had. John had an unusual career in our profession because he started as a patrolman, promoted to a sergeant, like many of us do, but John had certain skills and abilities that the rest of us at the police department didn't have, and he basically filled a hole in our agency that nobody else really could. He was very skilled when he came into the department with software and hardware, and helped us on more projects than you probably want to hear about, and I could stand up here and mention, but John was integral in getting our police cars to a standard that they needed to be. When Matt and I started, and Adam, you'd be driving in an alley or just driving, and if it's raining, your alley lights would come on because water would get into the lights. Every car was set up different, and they were a mess. There were extension cords that were running the lights to the radio in the back, just wired in, and John and initially Matt standardized all of that, and John kept doing it. And there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes at a police department that requires officers and allows officers to be out working. And John filled a lot of those roles. He filled a lot of roles that administratively was very good for us and was really kind of almost part of the command team with his understanding and his love for this profession. And I don't know that I've ever worked with anyone who had a greater love for this profession than John Comfort did. So he retired with us, and I would like to congratulate him on 26 years of service, well earned and well received by the city, and thank him for his time serving our community. Thank you.
Before you go. I just want to take this time to acknowledge Chief Woolery. There was a are passing away today next door to us. I won't release the names because of the family, due to the family. But I want to acknowledge the officers that showed up promptly. And forgive me if I butcher up the names, but I just want to acknowledge these officers. Officer Mittelhauser, Officer Robertson, Officer DeVorce, and Officer DeSalmi. I want to acknowledge those officers. I know they're not here. They didn't know I was going to do this. But on behalf of the city or city council, we want to say thank you for your speedy, being there on a speedy time. So thank you again, Chief Willery, for your staff and your team.
Next on the agenda, good and welfare portion of the meeting.
Yes, I have 4 individuals tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Renee Vance, she wants to talk about the senior center.
Okay.
Renee Vance, 19813 Tanglenook. And it's going to be real simple. We have our next fundraiser on Sunday. It is our Good Tenderloin dinner. And we are changed the hours. We are serving from 11 to 1. So hopefully we'll have some folks who get out of church a little late. They can come by. But we do have the mashed potatoes, green beans, rolls, desserts, and adults 15, children under $6, $7. And I'm going to put a plug in for volunteer drivers. We are really getting short on Wednesdays and Fridays. If you have a 2-hour stretch from 10 to noon and you can volunteer, please come by the center. We need drivers. Thank you.
All right. Next, we have Sandy Jeffers, and she has a couple subjects on the Lincoln Hubbard project, profit and loss, and then time of last meeting.
Hey, do I have to tell you my address?
Do you have to state your name and address, please?
Sandy Jeffers, 816 West 3rd, here in Sedalia, Missouri. I don't know why he makes me do that, because he probably knows it by heart. Okay, I'm going to start from the bottom up. I want to talk about a profit and loss something. How come we don't ever get that? How come we don't get any kind of a paper telling us how much money we have? I think that's important to us. You know, it's not tacked up anywhere. It's not in a, I just think that's important. I don't have any idea how much money the city of Sedalia has. They could have $4, $400, or $4 million. And I just think we have a right to know that. This kind of comes into this whole thing, and I'm going to start this out like this. I said, you've got to be kidding. We had a city councilwoman who approached the Sedalia Redevelopment Corporation to help fund a roof on Lincoln Hubbard Apartments. We don't own Lincoln Hubbard Apartments. We've never had anything to do with Lincoln Hubbard Apartments. The door is locked, you can't even get in unless somebody will let you in, which is neither here nor there. I went there today and spoke to her, and I asked her if their main company, this Mayco, I tried to call them on Friday, I tried to call them today, nobody will answer the phone or they don't want to talk to me. So I asked her, I said, do they even know about this? Do they even know that the roof needs to be replaced? Or I said, did you go to them and ask them and say, hey, I'm going to ask the city of Sedalia to put a new roof on our building? She told me no. They don't even know about it. They don't even know that the building needs a roof, but yet she has the audacity in front of the Sedalia Redevelopment Corporation to ask, and they all voted it, so she's going to bring it here to you guys, and you aren't even going to vote on it in front of us. You'll take this upstairs into a private meeting and vote for it, which I think is unfair. We have to learn the things that you vote for, the amount of money. We left here one day thinking, that bridge, thinking that we had $11,000 yet. You go up to a closed meeting, we come back, And on Facebook, we see it's $60,000 you need to finish that bridge, which somebody in here said it was going to be done today. Hadn't been any workers on that bridge all week, and especially not today. I have to make this quick. She told me today that she's going to try to pass this through on this 353 development. I thought that was for me or you, if you needed gutters or a roof on your house. That's what it was for, not a building that 15 or 20 people live in that get HUD housing or Section 8. I got to move on to the next one, and it's about those closed meetings. It just pisses me off that we're in here for 15 or 20 minutes, and then you go upstairs, and then, like I said, we have to read. Thank you, Kevin Lujan, for that. We have to read on Facebook. I know.
Time's up.
But I can't help it. We have to read on Facebook
time's
what
up.
you guys passed in a closed meeting.
Time's up.
How is that fair? I didn't know you were called.
I have, the next one I have is Harry Hofert, and on the freedom of speech.
I don't know.
Harry Hofert, 1408 South Barrett. Now, I know we're being able to talk now, but it still hasn't been put on the agenda and in front of anybody in this room to be voted on. I was in the military. A lot of people was. I don't know if any of you all have been in the military, but we went to fight for the Constitution and for the freedoms of the people in the United States of America. So, with that said, I'd like that to be somebody to step up here every 2 weeks and ask if we can get that on an agenda, and we can actually see a city council vote on it. Not just agreeing, but let's put a vote to it, because I guarantee you right now, I'd like to see hands without y'all saying a word. Can you raise your hand on how many people believe in the freedom of speech? Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Now, there's a bunch of you that didn't when the prior administration was in here and you voted it down. So freedom of speech has got to go both ways. You can take it when it's positive, and you got to take it if it's negative. And there's a lot of you that put your hands up that voted against it in the prior administration. Kind of looks kind of funny that, you know, all of a sudden you all are, heck, we're for it now. You know, we got new administration in, you've put that wording in there, but it's just going to take somebody to come up here and just piss everybody off, and then there's going to be more of you say, yep, I knew it if we brought that up and passed it, that it'd go right back to the way it was. So, you know, we got elections coming up. We got elections coming up after this one for a lot of you guys. If you plan on making an impact, you might ought to look at some of that stuff and voting what you know. I know, and I saw 5 up here, 6, 7 maybe that put it up there, but it doesn't show it on that amendment that you put in place. So let's get that. Y'all want to accomplish something, get something done. You got the trash taken care of? Let's get the freedom of speech taken care of. That's what we're here for. It's for everybody in this town, this city, to be able to come up here and think there's going to be no repercussion about speaking. And you all that voted it down might ought to relook that and think, hey, you know, I can take some criticism every now and then. Probably good for me. But I also like to get them positives, them attaboys. And I think you'll get more of those if y'all start working together. Thank you.
And the last individual I have, Mr. Mayor, is Debbie Covington, and hers is on the Lincoln Hubbard project as well.
Debbie.
Debbie Covington, P.O. Box 965. We actually are all on the same page, which is kind of crazy. Tonight's agenda, it raises questions. People have already brought it up. This is going to be redundant, but it seems like more and more business is being conducted behind closed doors and in public session. We'll be out here for a short amount of time, and then you all go in closed session for sometimes hours. Closed session for council has a legitimate purpose for certain legal and personnel matters, but transparency should be the rule, not the exception. The public deserves to know as much as the law allows about the decisions affecting our city and what's being made. Discussion, we love to hear discussion. I was at the Pettis County Commission meeting last week, and we were able to hear them talk and dialogue, agree, disagree. That was refreshing. I also agree with the matters involving Councilwoman and Mako. I agree when a council member works for a company connected to city business, the public has every right to expect complete transparency and for any potential conflicts of interest to be handled openly and not just by recusing votes. The public trust depends on it. We would like to hear you all discuss it tonight. I'm also concerned about the appointment of Carla Young to the Bothell Regional Health Center Board. Our city board should focus on serving the public. That's why we have new members, a new mayor, to serve the public, it not becoming an extension of partisan politics. Bothell has faced enough challenges and controversy. We need stability, transparency, and board members focused on the hospital's mission and the community it serves, and not political affiliations. Another question, why isn't the discussion about repealing or changing the city's public comment restrictions on tonight's agenda when a council member has already requested it? The public has been requesting it. It's been conversation, but yet we've yet to see any conversation with you all up there. Free speech and public participation are fundamental to our local government, any government really. If there is support to revisit those restrictions, that conversation should happen out here, not in closed door. The citizens want to hear it, we want to participate, and we want to hold our elected officials accountable. Transparency, accountability, open government, it should be the standard. Thanks.
That's the last one I have, sir.
Okay. Next on the agenda, unfinished business.
Thank you. Under unfinished business for the Finance and Administration, there's one item for consideration through the Finance Administration Committee that is from the previous council meeting. This ordinance was initially presented to the City Council for discussion during the July 6, 2026 council meeting. Following discussion, the council directed that the ordinance be placed on the July 20th, 2026 agenda for formal consideration. At the July 20th, 2026, the City Council approved the ordinance amending Section 2-787 of the Sedalia City Code to establish procedures governing the placement and removal of items from City Council agendas, and to clarify the order of business for regular City Council meetings. Pursuant to Section 77-270 RSMO, every ordinance adopted by the City Council is presented to the mayor for consideration. The mayor may approve the ordinance, return it to the council with written objections or veto, or allow the ordinance to become law without a signature by taking no action within the times prescribed by law. The mayor has indicated an intent to return this ordinance with written objections. Upon receipt of those objections, Missouri law requires the council to reconsider the ordinance. Section 77.270 RSMO provides that the council shall consider the following question. Shall the bill pass? The objection of the mayor thereto notwithstanding? A 2/3 vote of all members elect is required to override the mayor's veto. For clarification, a yes vote is a vote to override the mayor's veto and enact the ordinance. A no vote is a vote to sustain the mayor's veto, and the ordinance will not take effect. Upon receipt of the mayor's written objections in accordance with Section 77.270 RSMO, the City Council will consider whether the ordinance shall become law notwithstanding the mayor's objections.
I actually wrote a letter stating my argument with this. The City Council was established February of 1864. 162 years ago. I respectfully urge the City Council to preserve the integrity of this chamber. The mayor's role and the order in which the city was established so many years ago. The agenda was put in place to set the vision of the mayor and the wishes of the great people of the city of Sedalia. By letting any member of the council change or add to the agenda that was established 162 years ago would be like changing our Constitution. The city of Sedalia had 50 different mayors, but now the council would like to change the order of things. I question the chamber for even suggesting at this point, but I believe that we should let the people of Sedalia decide how much control that our city council should have over our agenda. Our council roles has always been to either approve or reject ordinance or bills, not to set them or remove them.
Guidance on how to proceed on this matter from council, please.
So the question before you is, shall the bill pass, the mayor's objections notwithstanding? So if you wanted to have discussion, you could. If you were ready for a vote, you could also do that.
I call the question.
So then the question is, shall the bill pass, the mayor's objections notwithstanding?
Excuse me, I want to clarify. You want to remove the process of committees and council members of adding things to the agenda?
No, I'm saying that we should keep it as its current structure has always been for 162 years. You guys will make your decisions with your committee heads, and we will bring it to discussion to collectively decide whether it's in the best interest of the city or not. But to give 9 people control over whether they want to pull an item off of an agenda or add something because they don't like the way something looks, I think we need to keep the structure as it always has been.
Let me get some clarity on some things so everybody can understand what's going on. So, and I'm gonna play the dumb role. So as of right now, the mayor and the city administrator are authorized to put on and take off the agenda. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're not here, you and the administrator are able to communicate with each other. If you're not here, he'll be able to put on the agenda what you want to see on the agenda, vice versa. Am I saying it right?
That is correct.
Okay.
So then my question then is how would or how can things that are brought to each city council person within their ward, individuals say, well, we would like for you to discuss such and such and so and so. How would we get that on the agenda if we don't approach you and the city administrator letting you know that these folks want that question or want that put on?
Like we've talked before, we'll discuss in closed door. So everyone has an opportunity to decide if it's in the best interest of the city of Sedalia. But I think everybody should hear what's being said for transparency's sake. Not just somebody randomly going up there and decide, well, I'm going to put this because somebody in my neighborhood suggested that we put this on the agenda.
I'm not aware that that was how it was happening. I thought it had to be agreed upon.
Right.
Why can't we hear it?
Mm-hmm.
My point exactly.
And what if you want it on the agenda and Matt says no? What if you want it on the agenda but you have this and then Matt says, I don't want it on the agenda?
Well, I just want to keep the current structure in place. Not alter anything, just keep it the way it's currently been. Just keep it intact, just the way it's always has been.
We had a discussion about this. We talked about it. We brought it to council. We all voted on it. You
Well,
were okay with
then
it.
let's make a
Now
public
we're
vote.
vetoing it.
Let's make a public vote.
We did this. We publicly voted on it, and then now you want to change it.
We did it in close. Let's do it public. So we can move this agenda along.
I thought we brought it.
We brought this to the floor, correct? And
This was
voted on
brought
it.
forward in open council meetings
We
twice.
voted on this, and we all said yes. Here,
Here.
right here, in open. We voted on this. The 20th? Was it the 20th?
It was July 20th, the council passed.
Yes.
I believe the only two that
And you
should
had
set
no
the agenda should be Matt and myself. Now, if we decide to do something during the committees and we present it and we all agree on it collectively, I'm fine with that structure.
How did it come out? What was the vote? To address it here or not to address it?
We'll table this to close. Everyone agree? So we can move on with the agenda.
I'm sorry,
No.
the question has been called. We would need a second to go through the vote.
I'll second it. Let's vote.
All in favor?
It has to be a roll call vote.
Clerk Myers, roll call.
Yep. Robinson.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
Scribner.
Yes.
Bogus.
Yes.
Covington.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Redford. Franklin.
Yes.
You have 8 yes.
All right.
So the
Next on the agenda, approval of previous session minutes led by, for previous session.
Motion to approve previous minutes.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next on the agenda, special boards, commissions, and committees. We have none at the time. Can I have a roll call on standing committees? We have none?
You just need to move into the committee, sir.
Okay, all right.
Finance Committee has one item on the new agenda, waiving the open container requirement, Section 4-3A, downtown Sedalia criterion.
Well, I call for the reading of bill number 2026-87. Clerk Myers.
Bill number 2026-87, an ordinance waiving the requirements of Section 43A of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, and imposing other conditions relating to the downtown Sedalia Criterium event on Saturday, August 22nd, 2026, during the hours of 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. in downtown Sedalia.
We have a motion and a second.
Second reading.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the second reading of bill number 2026-87.
We need it all in favor, sir. We need it all in favor.
Favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Bill number 2026-87, an ordinance waiving the requirements of Section 43A of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, and imposing other conditions relating to the downtown Sedalia Criterium event on Saturday, August 22nd, 2026, during the hours of 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. in downtown Sedalia.
Final passage.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for final passage. Are there any further discussion? Haven't heard none. Clerk Myers, roll call.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
Yes.
Franklin,
I'm going to abstain because I'm a club member.
and Robinson.
Yes.
You have 7 yes, 1 abstain.
Bill passes.
And that finishes Finance and Administration.
All right. Next on the agenda, Public Works, led by Chairwoman Franklin.
We have 6 items for consideration through Public Works Committee. First item for consideration is a resolution and budget amendment recognizing a 20,000 tree resource improvement maintenance trim grant awarded by the Missouri Department of Conservation. The budget amendment increases both grant revenue and corresponding project expenditures to account for the grant funds. The grant will be used to assist with the removal of public ash trees identified as dead, diseased, or dying, and to support planting of replacement trees at Cloverdale Park. The grant fully funds additional budgeted expenditures and does not require additional local tax revenue.
I call for the reading of Resolution 2173. Clerk Myers.
Resolution 2173, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, stating facts and reasons for the necessity to amend and increase the city's annual budget for fiscal year 2027.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for approval of Resolution 2173. Is there any discussion? Haven't heard none. Resolution passes. Next on the agenda, I call for the reading of Bill number 2026-88.
Bill number 2026-88, an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year 2026-2027 regarding trim grant award.
Second reading.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill number 2026-88. Is there any discussion? Haven't heard none. All in favor?
Aye.
Bill number 2026-88, an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year 2026-2027 regarding trim grant award.
Final passage.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the final passage of Bill number 2026-88. Is there any further discussion? Haven't heard none. Roll call, please.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
All in favor.
Bill passes.
The next item is an ordinance requiring the
Michelle,
installation of
we
an
still have
access-
we still have one more ordinance related to that item.
Sorry.
I call for the reading of Bill number 2026-89.
Bill number 2026-89, an ordinance authorizing agreement for a tree resource improvement and maintenance trim grant.
Second reading.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill number 2026-89. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Bill number 2026-89, an ordinance authorizing an agreement for a tree resource improvement and maintenance trim grant.
Final passage.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the final passage of Bill number 2026-89. Is there any further discussion? Haven't heard none? Clerk Myers? Roll
Bogus,
call.
Bogus,
Yes.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner.
Yes.
All in favor.
The next item is an ordinance requiring the installation of an accessible main water control valve whenever municipal water service is shut off to allow plumbing repairs or maintenance, and no such valve currently exists. The Water Department has enforced this requirement as it's existed from the former Board of Public Works policy since 1987. However, it was recently determined that the requirement should be formally adopted by city ordinance. Codifying this long-standing practice will reduce future service calls and provide consistency with international plumbing code. The item was also reviewed by Public Works Council Committee, which recommended forwarding ordinance to the City Council for consideration.
I call for the reading of Bill number 2026-90.
Bill number 2026-90, an ordinance requiring the installation of a main water control valve prior to the restoration of municipal water service following a requested water shutoff.
Second reading.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill number 2026-90. Is there any further discussion? Haven't heard none? Clerk Myers?
You need all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Bill number 2026-90, an ordinance requiring the installation of a main water control valve prior to the restoration of municipal water service following a requested water shutoff.
Final passage.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for final passage on Bill number 2026-90. Is there any further discussion? Haven't heard none? Clerk Myers, roll call, please.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus.
Yes.
All in favor.
Bill passes.
The next item is for consideration is a budget amendment to recognize grant funding awarded through West Central Solid Waste Management District F for Phase 2 of city's glass pulverizer recycling project. The project's been included in the city's strategic plan presentation over the past 2 years and is being completed in phases as grant funding becomes available. In April 2026, the City Council authorized submission of Phase 2 grant application. Following approval of that application, the city has now been awarded the grant funding for the electrical service necessary to power the pulverizer. Phase 1 previously secured grant funding for the concrete containment foundation. Approval of the budget amendment will recognize grant revenue and corresponding project expenditures that were not included in the fiscal 27 budget. Staff will continue pursuing additional grant opportunities to complete the remaining project components.
I call for the reading of Resolution 2174. Clerk Myers.
Resolution 2174, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, stating facts and reasons for the necessity to amend and increase city's annual budget for fiscal year 2027.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Got a second? A motion and a second for the approval of bill number, or resolution number 2174. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Roll call. No roll call. Got to read, call for the reading of bill number 2026-91.
Bill number 2026-91, an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year 2026-2027 regarding Region F grant award pulverizer.
Second reading?
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the second reading of bill number 2026-91. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Bill number 2026-91, an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year 2026-2027 regarding Region F grant award pulverizer.
Final passage.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the final passage of bill number 2026-91. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Need a roll call, sir.
Roll call.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Covington.
Yes.
All in favor.
Next, consideration of an ordinance accepting $10,000 trust established for perpetual care and maintenance of a mausoleum located at Crown Hill Cemetery. Acceptance of the trust will authorize the city to receive and administer the trust funds in accordance with terms of the trust agreement and provide for long-term maintenance and care of the mausoleum.
I call for the reading of bill number 2026-92.
Bill number 2026-92, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to sign a receipt and release agreement.
Motion for second reading?
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the second reading of bill number 2026-92. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Bill number 2026-92, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to sign a receipt and release agreement.
Final passage?
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the final passage of bill number 2026-92. Any further discussion? Clerk Meyer, roll call, please.
Redford,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
All in favor.
Consideration of an ordinance authorizing agreements with JCI Industries LLC and FTC Equipment LLC to provide on-call pump maintenance and repair services for the Utilities Division. This service was identified as planned expenditure in fiscal 27 budget, and the city recently completed formal competitive bidding process. Staff recommends awarding contracts to both qualified vendors to ensure access, authorized warranty service, and specialized expertise for multiple pump manufacturers, improving service flexibility and reducing potential downtime for critical utility infrastructure.
I call for the reading of Bill number 2026-93. Clerk Myers.
Bill number 2026-93, an ordinance authorizing agreements for on-call pump maintenance and repair services for the Utilities Division.
Motion for second reading?
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill number 2026-93. Is there any further discussion? Haven't heard none. All in favor?
Aye.
Bill number 2026-93, an ordinance authorizing agreements for on-call pump maintenance and repair services for the Utilities Division.
Final passage.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for final passage of Bill number 2026-93. Is there any further discussion? Haven't heard none. Roll call, please.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford.
Yes.
All in favor.
And the final change order number 1 for 2021-181F, storm drainage improvement, project area 30. During construction, the contractor encountered unforeseen conflict with existing sanitary sewer mains and service lines that required modification to the project design to maintain the functionality of both the storm drainage and sanitary sewer systems. The change order increases the contract by $19,137.18. No budget amendment is required, as staff has identified existing water pollution control funds to cover the cost associated with the sanitary sewer modification, with the remaining costs funded through the project's existing storm drainage budget. Approval of the change order will allow the project to proceed while addressing the unforeseen utility conflict.
I call for the reading of Bill number 2026-94.
Bill number 2026-94, an ordinance authorizing change order number 1 for storm drainage improvements, project area number 30.
Second reading.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill number 2026-94. Is there any discussion? Haven't heard none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Bill number 2026-94, an ordinance authorizing change order number 1 for storm drainage improvements, project area number 30.
Final passage?
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the final passage of Bill number 2026-94. Is there any further discussion? Clerk Myers, roll call, please.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
All in favor.
Next on the agenda, public safety with Chairman Robinson.
Thank you. The animal control shelter sought bid for an animal box to fit on the back of their 3/4 ton truck for a new one. We got bids, and we have one that is within the allotted money, and we would ask for an ordinance authorizing the purchase of that box.
I call for the reading of Bill number 2026-95.
Bill number 2026-95, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of an animal box for the Sedey Animal Shelter.
Second reading?
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill number 2026-95. Is there any discussion? Haven't heard none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Bill number 2026-95, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of an animal box for the Sedey Animal Shelter.
Final passage?
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the final passage of Bill number 2026-95. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
All in favor.
Next on the agenda, community development, led by Chairwoman Ames.
This evening, we're going to have Chief Building Official Demetrius Medeiros. He's going to provide a mid-year update on building permits, construction activity, and development occurring through the community.
Good evening, council, mayor, and public.
Good evening.
This is a mid-year construction review. It's something that me and Matt kind of talked about it starting and just kind of having that open door policy I talked about in our strategic plan of kind of walking through a very, very broad overview of the projects going on inside city limits, the construction value brought to the community, the amount of residential new single-family homes, commercial projects that are ongoing, just kind of a very broad strokes overview of what we do in a day that's not just code enforcement. Does this clicker work? Fantastic. All right. So first slide is pretty bold and obvious. From January to June of this year, we've had $55 million in construction value brought to the city. That is new commercial, residential, remodels, alterations, additions. This is our overview of project cost valuations that we obtain in the permit application. You can see in January and February, we had a combined little over 17 million. In March alone, we had almost 17 million, and then April, May, and June was 5, 9, and 6. So for a total of 55 million, that is on pace with last year. We are about the same with an additional 15 million between Chick-fil-A, Quick Trip, and the FAB project, bowling alley and fire training center and fire station. Next one is building permits. They account for 53% of our department activity, with MEPs accounting for 15, 16, and 16 respectively. That's a big deal. That signifies that we have homeowners doing remodels. They're reframing, putting in new windows, getting new roofs, getting new siding, taking care of their properties, not just upgrading electrical services or putting in new toilets. These are full-blown residential repairs that we have needed in the community as a whole for a long time. Part of that developmental highlights, commercial additions and repairs alone was 6.9 million in February. Electrical permits make up 15% of the permits issued, but represent 5.7 million in construction value. That is a significant difference. Being that small of the percentage of permits that we issue and being that large of a value just shows how much electrical work has increased in cost. Being that it increases in cost, it also increases in value bringing to the community. So the better services we provide, the more disconnects, the more meter upgrades we see, the better and safer our communities are, as well as the return value on investment for the property. Mechanical and plumbing permits make up a combined 32% and represent 3.5 million in construction value. High volume residential repairs, alterations, and remodels. We had 65 applications and permits issued in April, 51 in May, and 65 in June. So that's what I was talking about earlier with the 53% of all permits being building permits, is we had 65 repairs, alterations, or residential remodels in April, 51 in May, and 65 in June. That is a significantly large number. We had 34 sign permits in Q1 and Q2 combined. That just signifies the growth and care of new and existing businesses, upgrading their signage, making their buildings more presentable, making the community a little bit prettier, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. And then the final one, this is our pipeline. So this is how many projects we have ongoing that our building inspectors are inspecting weekly, monthly, daily, sometimes hourly, depending on what project it is. We have 60 plus residential and commercial projects. On the commercial side, we've got Chick-fil-A, Quick Trip, 7 Brew. Those are the big ones. Those one everyone knows about. Those are the ones that are being built on 50, on 65. They're super visible. Shout out to Zernco, Quick Trip, and Kinetic Design for those. Municipal, Jesus. We have the fire station, the training center, and the bowling alley. Those are the ones that we are providing to the community, the ones that we're building and improving our community. Thanks to Nabholz as well. Residential, we have 44 plus, and that is plus because this is to June. It is August, so we've had some new ones in July and August. Those will come in the end year review. But at the time, we had 44 active new single-family homes / duplexes. It's a little bit deceiving because it says / duplexes. There is 2 new duplexes being built. So that is 42 active new single-family homes being built in our community. available for purchase, well-built, continuing on. Institutionally, with the Boys and Girls Club, and then the State Fair Community College, their new campus, not new campus, their new sports complex. Specifically, we only inspected the concession stand. We don't inspect football fields or anything like that, but the concession stand. So really cool to look at. That's State Fair Community College and Preferred Construction. And the reason I skipped the key developers for residential is we have a really good core of contractors in town that are continuing to build our community that really do deserve a lot of recognition. Expert Construction, Genesis Build Co., Premium Homes, Willis Byler, just the list goes on. The amount of people that continually pull permits and build new single-family homes for our community is a big deal. And hopefully we see a bigger influx in that with Prairie Hollow and things of that nature, new subdivisions coming. In all, does anybody have any questions?
When is the, I'm sorry, go ahead. Elder.
Either one. We'll get to both of you.
I just want to know, when is Quick Trip going to be, when are they going to be finished?
So when they're going to be finished, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
That timeline moves depending on the weather and how fast they get started. They're supposed to break ground and actively construct in August, not including all the demolition and everything they've done up to this point, but actually start pouring footings and grading and groundwork. So that's a big deal. My guess is 9 months, but that's just a shot in the dark. Mr. Cox?
I've noticed all over town that slab homes are really coming up. Especially corner lots are really, really hot.
Yeah, corner lots are tough to find, being that they're usually tight in the setbacks area. But if you can find a good corner lot with a decent setback, they're very nice. They tend to go up pretty quick. Slab homes, that is something that comes up a lot. We don't get a lot of permits for or applications for basements. The cost for a basement usually doubles the cost of the home. So if the home was going to be $225,000 valuation, it ends up being about a $350,000 or $400,000 house, just because it has a basement and 2 extra bedrooms. So you usually see those in like Craftsman, Artisan Drive, the newer subdivisions, but in the older subdivisions of Sedalia, where it's kind of an empty lot in the middle of a neighborhood, sometimes they don't have the grading, and so they'll just put a slab or a crawl space built house. So they won't put a full basement.
I would say there's probably already 100 slab homes or close to that.
Yeah. I
All
mean,
over town.
say between last year and this year, we're at 162. That is the total valuation. This year, we're not 160. I'm sorry. That includes townhouses, duplex apartments, things like that. For single-family homes, I'd have to look that one up, but it is well over 100 within the last year or so.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep. Anything else? No? All right. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Demetrius. Next, we have a resolution considering accepting and supporting the use of Sedalia Redevelopment Corporation funds for roof repairs to the historic Lincoln Hubbard building. The original funding request of $59,700 was presented to the Sedalia Redevelopment Corporation at its July 27, 2026 meeting. During its review, the corporation recognized that additional deterioration could be discovered once construction begins and recommended authorizing up to $65,000 for the project. Any unused funds will be reimbursed to the Sedalia Redevelopment Corporation upon completion of the repairs.
I call for the reading of Resolution 2175.
Resolution 2175. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, accepting and supporting the roof repair project and use of Sedalia Redevelopment Corporation funds for the Lincoln Hubbard building.
Do I have a motion? Any comments? Any further discussion?
A motion to approve.
I have a discussion about it before we move on to our motion. So Marco's owns 53 properties that we know of by my count. It seems like they're geared towards Section 8 recipients, low-income base housing, and they have, applied for federal funds, grant money, and now I believe based on residents, you would think that they'd be entitled to some kind of tax credits or grants or whatever if they applied for them, because on their website, it states that they have tax income credits. They also are insured by HUD, and their federally home loan bank is CDBG, and they gave them monies too, and they received money from the USDA Royal Funds. And they are also general contractor for over 200 multiple family developments. And I just want to know if they even considered trying to apply for any federal funds, grants, state, anything.
Yes, they have indeed applied for those grants. They have applied for those funds. They went through MHDC, and at this time, MHDC is not handing out any grants or funds to do any kind of improvement on it. So those things that you just questioned or said, have they looked into it? The answer is yes, they have.
Just wanted to make
yeah,
sure that it was up for discussion.
No problem.
So, okay. So at this point, we need a motion and a second for approval of.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Well, we have a motion and a second for resolution number 2175. Are there any further discussions? Clerk Meyer?
Would you like to take a roll call on this one, sir? You don't, okay. Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus,
Abstain.
Covington,
No.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
No.
Franklin.
Yes.
You have 5 yes, 2 no, 1 abstain. So resolution passes.
All right. Next on the agenda, other businesses.
Okay, on the appointments, reappointments, to members of the city council from Mayor Travis Williams regarding new appointments and reappointments. New appointments to the Bothell Regional Health Center Board of Trustees, Carla Young, completing Cassie Brown's term expiring June 2029, and to the Sedalia Main Streets Board of Directors, Kim Boggs, replacing Gary Holstein, 1-year term expiring January 2027. Matthew Mergen, replacing Brian Jenkins, 3-year term expiring January 2029. And reappointments to the Sedalia Main Streets Board of Directors, Abby Norman, 3-year term expiring January 2029, and Sonny Broyles, 3-year term expiring January 2029. Just need a motion and second to approve.
We have a motion and a second for approval.
That was a lot of names. Can you repeat it? I'm sorry, I thought a little slow. but
Absolutely, I can do that. Okay, so for new appointments to Bothwell Regional Board of Trustees, Carla Young, completing Cassie Brown's term expiring June 2029. And then appointments to Sedalia Main Streets Board of Directors, Kim Boggs, replacing Gary Holstein, 1-year term expiring January 2027, and Matthew Mergen, replacing Brian Jenkins for a 3-year term expiring January 2029. And then I have reappointments to Sedalia Main Streets Board of Directors, Abby Norman for a 3-year term expiring January of 2029, and Sonny Broyles for a 3-year term expiring January of 2029.
Thank you. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I oppose on the Carla Young.
Okay. Clerk Myers, roll call, please. On the Carla Young appointment, I assume?
Okay. Robinson. This is on the Carla Young appointment.
Just Carla.
Robinson.
I don't know enough about it to vote.
A yes vote approves the.
A yes
appointment,
approves.
And a no declines the.
Correct.
Correct?
Abstain.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
No.
August,
Yes.
Covington.
No.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
No.
and Franklin.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 yes, 3 no, 1 abstain. So that one will not, majority vote, that was not.
Yes, just
Okay,
there
it
was
was.
not a majority vote, so only 4 voted for yes. So
Right.
there was no majority.
Yep. So Carla does not pass.
All right. Next on the agenda, liquor license.
I have 4 renewals tonight. Eric Brown, doing business as Buffalo Wild Wings at 4401 Wisconsin Avenue for liquor by the drink and Sunday sales. Tabitha Cady, doing business as Katie's Barbecue of Sedalia at 1915 South Limit for liquor by the drink and Sunday sales. Nicole Walker, doing business as South Limit Liquor LLC at 2205 South Limit for packaged liquor and Sunday sales. And Troy Dean Walker II, doing business as Applebee's at 3320 West Broadway for liquor by the drink and Sunday sales.
Motion to approve in block?
Second.
Got a motion and a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, can we go back to the rest of the nominees? Do we have to vote on them?
No, I understood that that was an in-block vote for everybody, and then there was just the one for Carla Young that was pulled.
Okay.
Is everybody on the same page there, or should we have a new motion and a new vote?
No, we're on the same page. Yeah.
I thought we were just removing the one and then we would move
Yeah.
forward to
Correct.
approve and reappoint the rest? That's what I thought.
Correct.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
So any miscellaneous items?
Great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already voted. We voted on it.
Yeah.
Next on the agenda, miscellaneous items.
So I was going to report this afternoon, I got a notice, not everything is completely done on the bridge, but the items that are needed to open the bridge are completed. The last of the structural bolts went in this afternoon. And so the weight limit signs are being made and installed this evening. And then we plan to get the sidewalk, we have to block it off first thing in the morning. And then the bridge should be open sometime tomorrow. We'll put out a formal press release when we know for certain when it can be done.
All right. Any other miscellaneous?
Ribbon cutting.
Okay. Well, do I have a motion and a second to take this meeting into closed door?
Motion to move to closed door meeting in the upstairs conference room pursuant to subsection 1, legal advice, 2, real estate, 3, personnel, 12, negotiated contracts, and 13, individually identifiable personnel record to section 610-021 RSMO.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We need a roll
Any
call, sir.
opposed? No?
We need a roll call, sir.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Okay. I got a motion and a second. We have a motion and a second to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Second. All in favor?
All of us.
You all answered that way too fast. Meeting adjourned. Yes.